First at noon, Big Island fire investigators and the community are trying to figure out what sparked multiple blazes in Hilo this weekend that left 2 people dead and dozens displaced. The first fire started early Saturday at the old Pu'ueo Poi factory. First responders were called to the scene just before 4 a.m. They encountered flames ripping through multiple units in the 2-story structure that had been converted to housing. After the fire was put out, 2 bodies were found. They are believed to be the remains of 2 female residents there, ages 56 and 72. 4 Hawaii Fire Department units responded to the scene where displaced residents were shaken up by the incident.
When I was leaving my friend's mom at the top building right there, she was yelling for my name to help her, and I couldn't help her. I couldn't help her.
I'm still in shock that we lost everything, you know. I just feel sorry for my friend's mom that stayed in that building.
Survivors told us how they needed to jump out of the building to safety because the building's only staircase was on fire. The Red Cross is helping those now without a home. Police do say it does not appear the fatal fire was intentionally set. Meanwhile, 4 buildings on Kino'ole and Keawe streets went up in flames early yesterday. It took about 5 hours for crews to put out all the fires, but not before forcing dozens to evacuate and destroying multiple homes and businesses. We're going to continue to bring you the latest details on this incident as they come into our newsroom. On Kauai, the thrifty mini mart in Kekaha went up in flames last night. It happened shortly after 7:45. Firefighters saw smoke coming from the roof on arrival, extinguished the blaze, and cleared the scene about 5 hours later. Officials say the fire was contained to the attic area of the structure. One person requested medical evaluation for faintness, but was not taken to the hospital. Damages are estimated at $308,000. Well, let's take it live now to Pipeline on Oahu's North Shore, where a high surf warning has just been downgraded to an advisory after a massive swell over the weekend kept lifeguards very busy. 15 people needed to be saved from the dangerous high surf conditions on the North Shore yesterday, the majority at Waimea Bay. We're told there were also 14 rescue assists and more than 2,700 preventative actions. Wave heights reached up to 20 to 40 feet tall throughout the day.
I got caught on the inside, tried to scratch through a wave. It took me up and over the falls. A 10-0 board snapped like a twig, tore my vest right off, ripped the string out of my swim trunks, and I was stuck in the inside. And Hawaiian Water Patrol was patrolling, and they saw me waving for help and came in and picked me up. But you also got to know your limits. You don't want to go too far and really rely on them, and when you shouldn't be out there. So, you know, grateful that they're out there and patrolling the waters, but you just got to be careful from Mother Nature because you never know what comes.
Ocean Safety says the waves were so large overnight they sent debris onto North Shore roadways and coastlines.
And happy Monday, everybody. I hope you enjoyed your Thanksgiving holiday weekend. Our winds outside right now, pretty light out there. We're actually watching a front that's off to the northwest of the island chain. That's going to bring a better chance for showers over the western half of the state as we go into Tuesday. Alongside that, like you were just seeing, we have a high surf advisory up on north and west facing shores. This was originally a warning. It was downgraded. It's going to last until 6 a.m. on Tuesday. And a quick look at the numbers as we continue to see this extra large swell drop out there for your Tuesday morning. North-facing shores around 9 to 12 feet out there. West-facing shores around 6 to 8. Pretty small in town and pretty small on east-facing shores. Coming up, I'll give you a look at the chance for rain over the next couple of days. The details coming right up.
Thank you, Drew. As Drew mentioned, there are light winds in the forecast, but look at this shocking scene at the Aloha Stadium swap meet when strong gusts of wind caused several large tents to flip and fly through the air. Now, video shows the moment shoppers started to run for cover yesterday. A 28-year-old woman was hurt when one of those tents flew at her and struck her in the head. She was rushed to the hospital in serious condition.
One by one, people's tents are starting to come off of the frame, and then the frame started to lift up as well. So it was very chaotic, because people's merchandise was flying everywhere. People's cars was getting smashed. Yeah. People were getting hit in the head by poles.
Judging by the video, the gusts were likely caused by a dust devil when winds are light and warm on the ground, like on dark asphalt, rises rapidly and begins to spin. A judge has confirmed bail at $1.5 million for 40-year-old Joseph Davis. He's the Hawaii Island man accused of fatally shooting 52-year-old John Maru of Volcano outside of the Mountain View Mini Mart last Tuesday. Officers found a pistol in his bag. The motive still unknown. Davis is due back in court tomorrow. Also in court tomorrow, the suspect accused of stealing a man's truck last week at Nimitz Beach with 2 children inside. A judge revoked Joshua Lopez Kelly's $1 million bail because of the seriousness of the charges, his previous convictions, and current parole violation. Lopez Kelly has pleaded not guilty to kidnapping and robbery charges. For some families, the holidays can bring more fear than joy. Annalisa Burgos shares expert advice if you or someone you know is experiencing domestic abuse.
Research shows that calls to domestic violence helplines increase during the holidays by 20 to 30%.
Increased financial stress, extended family dynamics, increased consumption of alcohol or substance. And I think that exacerbates existing tensions in the home that can trigger violence.
The Domestic Violence Action Center says unusual behavior can be a sign a loved one is being abused and needs help.
Unexplained injuries or illness, maybe a family member is withdrawn, or maybe they're canceling plans at the last minute. Hypersensitivity, hyper-awareness of what's going on, those are some of the common signs that you might see.
Survivor advocates urge the public to speak up and report cases of abuse. It can help save lives.
Express care and concern, to listen without judgment, and to let them know that there is healing and there's hope.
What may look like affection could really be hiding controlling and jealous behavior, making it hard for a victim to leave an abusive relationship. But the consequences can be devastating, like the tragic fatal shooting of mother Teresa Cachuela by her husband at Pearl Ridge Center before Christmas 2 years ago.
There are people or organizations like the Domestic Violence Action Center that have people who want to help and that can help.
DVAC's confidential helpline is open weekdays at 808-531-3771 or 800-690-6200. Or you can reach out via chat or text message at domesticviolenceactioncenter.org. Like many nonprofits, DVAC is struggling to make up shortfalls from federal cuts and appreciates your support this coming Giving Tuesday. Annalisa Burgos, Hawaii News Now.
An 18-year-old needed to be rushed to the hospital after reported gas leak at UH Manoa. Officials were called to the Hale Haukani building on Dole Street at around 9:15 last night. We're told the teen is in stable condition. Students were able to get back inside shortly before 11. We reached out to the university for more information and are waiting on a response. The Maui County Council today will take action on a controversial bill that would phase out short-term vacation rentals in apartment zoning districts. Bill 9 is scheduled for its first reading during a special meeting that's happened at 9 a.m. If it's approved, Council Chair Alice Lee says she'll schedule a second reading as soon as possible. A bill must pass the second and final reading before it moves on to the mayor. Today's hearing was pushed back following the death of Kahului Councilwoman Tasha Kama. Negotiations are still underway between the state and the U.S. Army over the military's land lease in Hawaii. Governor Josh Green assembled an advisory board to help guide these big discussions. He stopped by the studio this morning and gave us an update on the process.
Well, they wanted to move very, very quickly, and we kind of calmed them down a little bit. They have to get a thing called
the Army wanted.
The Army,
right,
yes.
right.
And they wanted to do what was called a friendly condemnation and take the land. We, of course, object to a degree and say, look, let us work this out with you, getting input. So I put together an advisory council. It's mostly Hawaiian leaders, guys like Bill Isla, Kali Watson, Noe Wong, and others, terrific people. We'll get the input from them for the whole full year because we need this to be a balanced discussion. They have to get a thing called the NDAA approved, the National Defense Authorization Act, from Congress in order to even take the land. That didn't get approved, and I think it's just as well. Let's spend the year working this out because we care about the land, they have national security questions, and we have to find common ground.
The Army originally had a goal of wrapping up land talks by the new year, but the governor says he wants to slow negotiations to make sure a fair agreement is reached. The White House confirmed President Trump is meeting with Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and other national security advisors at the White House today as he considers his next steps with Venezuela. Torian Small has more on this, plus the latest on the president's push to end the Russia-Ukraine war.
The Republican-led House and Senate Armed Services Committees have announced they are looking into a U.S. strike on an alleged drug boat near Venezuela back in September. The Washington Post reported Secretary Hegseth gave a verbal order to kill everybody on board. When two survived, the Special Operations Commander overseeing the attack ordered a second strike to comply with Hegseth's instructions, and the two other men were blown apart in the water.
If it was as if the article said, that is a violation of the law of war.
Hegseth has denied he gave any such order, and President Trump says he believes him.
Pete said he did not order the death of those two men.
The White House press secretary said Monday that Hegseth authorized an Admiral, Frank Mitch Bradley, to conduct the strikes.
Admiral Bradley worked well within his authority and the law, directing the engagement to ensure the boat was destroyed and the threat to the United States of America was eliminated.
The war in Ukraine is another top foreign policy priority for the Trump administration, with the key meeting planned for tomorrow in Moscow. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and President Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner are set to talk face-to-face with Russian President Vladimir Putin about ending his country's war with Ukraine.
I will let the negotiators negotiate, but we do feel quite good, and we're hopeful that this war can finally come to an end.
Many in Ukraine are concerned the plan would allow Russia to keep much of the territory it invaded. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky met with France's President Emmanuel Macron Monday, who said that only Ukraine can decide on its territories in peace negotiations with Russia. Torian Small, CBS News, the White House.
Ahead on This Is Now, how AI is helping shoppers find the best deals this Cyber Monday, plus tips on how to protect yourself from online scams. Plus this.
New research on possible health effects of children getting a smartphone at a younger age. I'm Stephanie Stahl with what parents need to know.
It's that time of year again. Merry Monarch tickets go on sale today. You have to mail in your ticket request form with a cashier's check or money order, along with a self-addressed stamped envelope so they can mail you back your tickets. The 63rd anniversary of the hula competition in Hilo is set to run from April 5th to the 11th. Look for more information at merrymonarch.com. Today is also Cyber Monday, and it's expected to bring about record spending. It comes after Americans spent close to $12 billion online on Black Friday. That's up more than 9% from a year ago, according to Adobe Analytics. If you are online shopping today, cybersecurity experts are urging you to be aware of online scams. Some things to look out for: bargains that are too good to be true, sites with misspelled URLs, and sites asking for alternate payment forms. And retailers are hoping to keep up the momentum from what's already been a record-setting holiday shopping season. Brian Chung reports.
After a record-breaking Black Friday, shoppers are filling their carts for the king of the online shopping season. Cyber Monday expected to bring in over $14 billion in sales this year, when experts say you'll find the best deals on apparel and computers. And retailers are hoping to add a new spin to their sales events, leaning into artificial intelligence. In the weeks leading up to peak holiday spending, ChatGPT maker OpenAI partnered with Walmart and Target.
Let's say I'm a little bit overwhelmed at which plushie I want to get my 10-year-old nephew. Well, I can ask ChatGPT and say, hey, I'm looking to buy a really cute toy for my 10-year-old nephew. And it's going to give me some suggestions. At the very bottom, it'll even say Target. And you can shop right in the app on ChatGPT.
Over half of shoppers said in a recent survey they plan to use AI this year. Some saying they're using it already.
I talk to ChatGPT like they're a human being, and they respond to me the same way.
Others unsure about testing the tech.
AI does not know my family as well as I do.
This year, Amazon's offering its own chatbot called Rufus, where you can take a screenshot of a shopping list and automatically add those items to your cart.
AI is making the shopping experience more simple and easy and automated for our customers.
Cyber Monday this year, getting an AI upgrade. Brian Chung, NBC News.
Well, parents may be considering that first smartphone as a holiday gift. Now, new research suggests owning smartphones at a younger age could increase the risk of some health issues. Stephanie Stahl has the details.
The LaChapelle family loves spending time outside.
We encourage outdoor play and independent play as much as possible.
Mom Elise has signed the Wait Until 8th pledge, a promise not to give her children smartphones until at least the end of 8th grade.
It was very important to me to delay smartphones and delay social media because I think it's very easy to see the effect that they have on kids, the effect they have on their attention spans and their social skills and their overall mental health.
New research published in the journal Pediatrics suggests having a smartphone before age 12 could increase some health risks.
Compared to kids who do not have a smartphone at age 12 or by age 12, those who did have a smartphone had overall worse health outcomes. They had more chances of having depression, obesity, and insufficient sleep.
Dr. Rand Barzilai at Children's Hospital of Philadelphia co-authored the study looking at data from more than 10,500 children. While the research did not look at why, he says there could be several potential mechanisms.
More time on smartphone may be related to less time during, for example, physical activity, something that can protect both from obesity and is also good for one's mental health.
He adds, for teens, smartphones can play a role in social connections, learning, and safety, providing a child's location for parents. Balancing the positive and negative is key.
We limit iPad usage to 20 minutes a day. There's no YouTube. There's no social gaming of any kind.
Elise hopes more families will get on board and that delaying smartphones will become the new norm. Stephanie Stahl, CBS News.
And stick around. Coming up after the break, we've got your full First Alert weather forecast. The details on this week in weather coming up.
First Alert Weather with Drew Davis.
Well, look at the time, everybody. It's December 1st. You know what that means. It is officially the end of hurricane season. Hurricane season is officially over. Let's just take a look at what we saw this year. Again, the National Weather Center, the National Weather Service and NOAA were predicting 1 to 4 storms out in the Central Pacific out there. And here's just a recap of the storms that we saw. We saw Iona that moved down to the south of us, and several other storms we had that moved also to the south of us. Tropical Storm Kelly out there, Henriette, and then also Kiko, which moved pretty close to the island chain but ended up staying just offshore. So we had 4 storms out there this hurricane season. Overall, just a reminder, it only takes 1 storm for it to be a bad hurricane season out there. So we always have to be prepared, especially as we go into next year as well. Here's what we're tracking over the next couple of days. We've got a high surf advisory that was downgraded from a high surf warning out there. Light southeasterly winds going to continue today and some pop-up showers. We're also tracking a weak front off towards our northwest, bringing a better chance for rainfall over the western half of the state going into Tuesday. Right now, it mostly looks to be over Kauai. We've got a high surf advisory out there for north and west shores until 6 a.m. on Tuesday. Another look at the actual numbers for your surf and shoreline forecast. North-facing shores around 9 to 12. West-facing shores out there around 6 to 8. South-facing shores around 1 to 3. Still pretty small out on east-facing shores. Another swell is going to be moving in for northwest-facing shores as we're going into Wednesday. And then all of that energy is going to be moving off in the back half of this week. Again, here's that front that we're tracking. It's off to the northwest right now. We're seeing a few bands of moisture actually moving in ahead of the front. But as we're going forward into the rest of this evening, you're actually going to see a better chance for showers over Kauai. We'll actually see a few clouds move in over the western half of the state. So let's play this out. As we're going throughout the rest of this afternoon, you're seeing a little bit of moisture starting to move in over the western half of the state. This afternoon, we might see a few pop-up showers across each island, but overall, rainfall is going to be limited today. Then we start to see that front and the moisture moving in Tuesday evening and going into Wednesday over closer towards Kauai. That's around Wednesday afternoon, around 4 p.m. Again, it's not going to be a complete washout, but a better chance for showers out there going into Wednesday, Thursday, and then also drying out as we're going into the weekend. A few pop-up showers are possible for the middle part of the state for Oahu and Maui County. Looks like Hawaii Island is going to be missing out on this rainfall event. Our 7-day forecast, you can see a little bit hazy out there because of the fog and the light winds. Tuesday and Wednesday, we've got variable winds still, and then we're tracking a better chance for rainfall over on Kauai throughout Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Thank you, Drew. Still ahead, the Chicago Bears are playing, and we're not talking about football. We're going to explain in 2 minutes.
news now. The sun is shining here in Hawaii, but much of the mainland is looking like a winter wonderland.
And while many are shoveling their driveways and bundling up, some animals took advantage of the snowy conditions to play around. Check out this cute video. Animals at the Brookfield Zoo in Chicago played in what looked like a snow globe on Saturday. Chicago was hit with about 10 inches of snow over the weekend. This Chicago bear is a brown bear named Tim. He could barely resist rolling around in the fresh snowfall. The zoo says this natural enrichment gives animals new ways to explore and play. And some of the other animals at the zoo posed for some holiday photos in the fresh powder. These animals are built for this kind of weather with thick coats of fur and coloring that can camouflage in the conditions. Now, these are definitely worthy of the Christmas card.
I know one thing, Ashley. I'm not built for that kind of weather.
Same.
I do not like the cold.
I like fall.
Yeah, fall's nice.
Yes.
Winter, not so
Yeah.
much. All right, 'tis the season for world records. There was a mass-scale cookie exchange at the Kringle Kitchen in Washington, Pennsylvania. That's where members of a Pittsburgh area Facebook group gathered Sunday for what they hope was the world's largest Christmas cookie exchange. Organizers say at least 80,000 cookies were traded.
Wow.
And 33 baking teams of 10 people each cranked out the confections.
We hope to establish a world record. Right now there is not one, but I think we'll establish one today. We're doing everything we can with the paperwork and trying to do it right.
And these bakers meant business. A wristband was required for entry, but the smiles, guess what? They were free.
That's what you gotta do. You gotta find a world record that doesn't exist.
What would you do? What would you
Oh
do for a
gosh,
world record?
I don't have that many talents.
What-
I don't know. You put me on the spot. What would you do?
I would jump up and